so that they grow up understanding that saying I need help is not weakness, that it is actually maturity. So I think, again, it just goes back to making sure it's presented in a way that's, again, more palatable and more acceptable, and restructured in a way that it's significant and relevant to us spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and culturally.
Great. Thank you. Good job. I think it begins with Black men lifting it up, Black men talking about mental health, Black men teaching and talking to other Black men. If I had a bruise on my a bruise on my arm, you wouldn't think twice if I had a bandage. If I had broken my leg, you wouldn't think twice if I had a cast. And in the same way, the brain and the muscle in the brain and the biochemistry in us, if there is an injury, it's no different than a scratch or a broken bone. And so understanding it and men talking about it freely and openly, like, hey, I needed help with something. And unashamedly, just so taking away the fear, taking away the stigma, and men talking about it and understanding what it is.
Rebranding. I have an idea on rebranding mental therapy. Maybe we call it positivity counseling. Positivity counseling. And it's part of the deal when you engage or when you consider a man, that they agree to positivity counseling. Now, you can rebrand it any way you want, but I think you're right. As opposed to mental. So the minute you say mental to a brother, the Negro says, listen, I ain't crazy. Right. Right. So that's a wonderful and simple idea. Life is hard. Marriage is hard. Divorce is hard. Choose your heart. If it was easy, why would God need you? It's not easy. There will be obstacles along the way. Make no mistake about it. My favorite quote outside of the Bible is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. Now, Marcus Aurelius was one of the 5 great Caesars. There were 40 Caesars, but he was one of the great ones, and he was the co-founder of the Stoic philosophy. I encourage you to study the Stoic philosophy. But Marcus Aurelius said in 600 BC the following: the impediment to action advances the action. What stands in your way becomes the way. Let me say that another way. The obstacle is the way. Where there is no obstacle, there is no way. What is the first thing God does when he gives you an assignment that he feels that you are ready for? Let's call it marriage. The first thing God does is he puts an obstacle in your way. And your job is to find a way over, around, through, and under the obstacle, stumble, fall, make mistakes, and learn the lessons from that obstacle. And when you do, you get an atta girl or an atta boy from God, and then you get your next assignment at a slightly higher level based on the lessons you learned from the last obstacle. And then what's the next thing God does? He puts an obstacle in your way. And your job, again, is to find a way over, around, through, and under the obstacle and learn the lessons of stumbling, falling, and making mistakes and not repeating those mistakes. That is the story of our lives. Make no mistake about it.